Alright gamers, today it's time to review the 2016 edition of Robo Rally. Let's check it out. Alright, so in Robo Rally, you're one of these awesome little robot figurines, and you are trying to get them around this maze to get them to all 3 checkpoints, or however many you want. The game has several different options on here, and as you see, I've just set up just a practice play board. They have a billion suggestions for you in the rule book, from easy to hard. They have several double-sided tiles that you can use. You can bind 2, 3. The more you combine, the longer a game. I can't imagine what would happen if you did all 6. That would be insane, and you'd be there for half a day. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to start off here, put up a board. They have a little starter board here, and that's with everything. The player gets to put his bot down first, and then the next player, and so on and so forth. And now we have our robots. You're going to get a little player board, and this player board is going to come to everyone depending on what color. You're going to get a pack of cards here, program cards. They all look the same on the bottom, but of course you can see, this is orange player card. And you can do stuff like turn right, move 1, do the same movement you just did previously, move 3, turn left. There's U-turns in here. Where's the U-turn? Oh yeah, move back right there. Different turns, different things you can do. Oh, there's the U-turn. So there's different things you can do, but you're going to take this deck and you're going to shuffle it up, and of course put it in your draw pile. Now the first thing you're going to do here is, and it gives you on the player board, tells you what you're doing on playing around here. The first thing we're going to do is go to the upgrade phase. In the upgrade phase, everyone is going to actually start with 5 energy cubes, and energy cubes are kind of like money in the game. And as you can see, in some spaces you can continue to get more, and different cards will also let you get more as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to put out as many of these cards out here. These are just upgrade cards, just looking like this on the back. You'll deal out however many cards face up that there are players. So in this instance, there are 3 players, so I would put up 3 cards, like so. And they could pick from any one of these. Now those are all yellow, but as you see, the 2 colors that they have here are yellow and red. Yellow is permanent upgrades, red are just temporary. Look at this one, doesn't cost a thing there. So you get to decide what you want to spend and what you want to buy on your turn. Now after you've bought any upgrades, or you decide not to go to upgrades, the next thing you're going to do is go to the programming phase. In the programming phase, like I said, you shuffle these cards. You're going to deal 9 into your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you're going to play 5 of them face down, hiding it from the other players, and basically in the order of how you want your person to move. So I have Twonky here. This is Twonky, and so he's going to be moving for me today, and so I got to decide what I want to do here. So looking at the board, that's the first flag. You want to get to all the checkpoints here. You can have up to 1 to 6 checkpoints in the game. They are each numbered. As you see, this one is number 1. There's another one over here I placed, number 2. This is just a setup that I just made just for the review here. And so what do I want to do? Well, looking at this, man, I got a straight shot for some of this. What if I just go straight there, move, move, go again. I think I got another move. Well, I just make a straight bullet for it. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not bad. I'll do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll do it again for 5 again. So I play all these cards. Now I'm going to keep these cards in my hand. Eventually I'm going to have to play these cards. I put them down in the order that I want to play them. So for instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all face down here. I'm going to put these places in my hand. These are still in the draw pile. And then going around, and the first player is the player who's closest to the satellite. They'll tell you where to put the little satellite token, and whoever's closest to it goes first. Now if there's a tie, then it's the clockwise person. So it would be, let me see, I guess me first, them second, them third, and you just got to judge the distance to the satellite to see who goes first in the next round. So in this example, I'm going to go first. I'm going to flip over my card, and I move up 1. Now let's say that this character up here, he moved up 1, 2, and this guy moved to face me going this way. Now what would happen? We'd see if there were any obstacles, anything to stop us. As you see, there are walls here, so you can't go past the wall. If he was to move forward again, he would just bump into the wall and nothing would happen. If you're on one of these conveyor belts, you would automatically move that amount of spaces. So here, I would have moved 1 forward. If I was on this blue conveyor belt, I would have moved 2 over because it's got 2 arrows by it. If I'd have been in the way of a laser, I'd have gotten hurt there. And I'll tell you what happens when you get damaged. In fact, this is about what's going to happen because it looks like I am wide open here and he's going to shoot my lasers. They all shoot straight ahead wherever they're facing. Now, what if the blue guy was still here and he had turned 2? Would I get hit twice? No. I'd only get hit once by him, but he would hit him. And if that's the case, whenever you get hit, you got to add another card called Spam to your deck. Now, if you look, it looks just like your regular deck cards. You're going to shuffle it in there. So now I got to worry about a Spam card. And when you do play a Spam card, it says play the top card on your programming deck with this register. So for instance, let's say this wasn't my card, but this was. I had to play the Spam to get rid of it. That's the only way to get rid of Spam. It's like a glitch in my computer system. So when I did this, then I picked the next card and I would U-turn. Oh no. So now for the rest of the game, I'm going backwards, which is not going to be good because then I would exit off the board. And if you go off the board, you kind of die and you have to reboot. And I'll talk about a reboot in just a minute. So like I said, Spam's like glitches, and you get those every time maybe you step into a laser or maybe someone pushes you, because if he would move forward 1 on his turn, he would have pushed me over 1. Even though I haven't moved yet, I get to move. Now I don't get damage for that, but I do get pushed over, and that may throw off my game. So you don't know what the other players have programmed, and you don't know where their robots are going to go. So it's a constant guessing game. But if you're facing them or they're facing you, you get shot, you're going to get some spam. And the more spam you get, there's tons of spam that you can put in your deck. And that'd be bad because then you wouldn't have any control of what your robot's doing. Anyway, after that, you'd go to the 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, everyone moving. And let's say my plan would have gone perfectly. When I stayed here, I would have moved 2 spaces at the end of that round. Now, looking at these energy crystals, if you go to an energy crystal, you can get one of these cubes and you can add it to your stack. And like I said, there's plenty on the board. A lot of times they'll replenish and you can get more, and that's how you can buy more upgrades, whether permanent or temporary. And after everyone is done with their program cards, they're going to move them to the side, discard them, and then they're going to shuffle. Well, they're going to actually deal out 5 more because I already have 4 in this deck, so I'd have to deal out 5 more. And now I know there's a spam card in there, so the next time I may have to, the only way to get rid of that spam would be to play it. So after a while, you need to watch which card you're going to play, because then you're going to limit your hand to a bunch of, look what I have, a bunch of turns and move backs. That's not fun. Now, if you do have any upgrades to install, you'll put them at the top of your player board here. You can have up to 3 temporary and 3 permanent total in your upgrade section there. Someone has to stop on this flag during one of their 5 turns here, and they would get an achievement, a checkbox token. And you would just place the checkbox token right here to show that you have crossed 1. And if you get another one, you'll place a 2nd one, showing that you've crossed the 2nd one, and so on and so forth. Now, if you were to die, now how can you die in this game? Well, again, like I said, if your robot goes off the map, he dies. He gets rebooted. And in a reboot, he goes all the way back here. His turn ends. You wipe out his cards. He's going to get 2 spam to add to his deck because he had to reboot. And he'll start at this green little token that you'll place on the board wherever the instructions tell you, or if you're making up your own custom board, you'll start there. And that's how you'll go. Sometimes, though, you could restart. If you've already hit a checkpoint, you will reboot and restart right where that last checkpoint was. So it'll go back to the last area it remembers being, which is at one of the flags. Other ways to die or reboot in the game, as I say, is fall into pits, black holes. There's these little gears that twist you around. They don't kill you. Of course, more lasers there. Oh, let's see. There's tons of little things that can get you in this game. But, oh, geez, conveyor belt that goes straight to the black hole. And then, of course, people shooting at you and pushing you off the board. So tons of danger for your robot. Now, as you're taking spam in the game, if you ever run out of spam, then you're going to have to take other cards. Those other cards would be like a virus card. And it says here, robots within a 6-space radius of you will immediately take 1 spam because you have a virus. You gave them a virus. Then you have to play the top card of your programming deck in this register. So it's kind of like a spam, but you're also spreading it to other people, which is no fun. No fun for the other players, I should say. Other ones are like a worm, which is really bad. That means you have to immediately reboot your robot, and so they go back to their last starting space, and they get 2 spam, of course, when you reboot, so that's no good. And then another one is a Trojan horse. Yikes. Immediately take up to 2 spam. You got to take 2 spam and then play the top card for. So I mean, these just get worse and worse as you run out of spam in the deck, and there's a lot of bad things that can happen to you. And like I said, it really gets crazy after a while when you have all the spam to filter out. Now, there are some good program cards that you can get depending on what upgrade cards you get that let you do some awesome things as well. And eventually throughout the game, you can probably buy cards and put them in your deck that'll actually help you. So it's not always against the robot. There actually is some things here that can help the robot. Now, the first person to make it through all the checkpoints wins the Robo Rally. All right, so final thoughts. What do I think about this game? Well, I have heard so much about this game in the past, and it was just so expensive online. I said, you know what? I just don't think I'm ready to spend that much money. Well, you can go to Target and get this for like 25 bucks. And a lot of the reviews I've seen, people have talked about how cheap the components are. And yes, they are right. The components are a little cheap in this. The good news is that I never played the old game, so for me, these pieces work fine. Yeah, the cards are a little small, and the little safety markers that mark your last spot when you touch a flag, those are really paper thin. But like I said, I never had the older version. This is the only one I had. I'm thankful that it's cheap. And if it comes with cheaper pieces, that kind of sucks. But yet, the game comes for under 25 bucks at Target. I love that. I think this is a great rendition. I love how the minis are painted on here, how they look. One of my little nephews, this is one of his favorite games right now. He just loved it. The whole programming thing, how things can always go wrong. People push you. People surprise you. You try to guess where the robots are going to be, and sometimes you just turn for the automatic heck of it because you know that person is going to move forward or move into your line of sight. So instead of doing your regular movement, you say, I'm going to turn this way and shoot him a couple of times. I mean, and then sometimes they don't. They juke when they should have jived, and it's such a fun game. Now, it can get long. I've heard if you play 4 tiles or 6 checkpoints. We haven't played that many yet, but to be honest, like I said, there's a little time clock, there's a little sand timer, and once someone sets their programming, you turn that timer on, and it really puts a time limit on how long they can sit there to decide. So I have a few people who have that analysis paralysis where they just hem and haw. Well, what they should do, let me think. And I'm like, I'm ready to go. So this game works in my favor because when I set my programming, I'm going to turn over that little 2-minute sand timer and everyone's going to freak out and they're going to be making mistakes. So it speeds the game along, and that's one thing I really love about it. Now, if everyone plays this a few times, then they should be able to get it, and the game should go really quick. If the game goes quick, then add as many boards as you want, add as many checkpoints as you want. This is a game that I could play over and over again. There's so many different, and the book's so great and giving you so many different obstacles. But after a while, you'll be making up your own and having a blast. I can see myself playing long games of this after a while once everyone has figured it out. Now, again, I haven't shown this to my entire gaming group. There's only a stack of board games 50 feet high that I need to show them first. But that is no detriment to Robo Rally. Robo Rally is just really a fun game. And if you're thinking, man, I really want Robo Rally, but do I really buy the cheap version or just go online and buy the expensive version? Man, if you don't own it, you're only out 20-something bucks at Target. So yeah, you should get it. Or Amazon or Walmart, whoever's selling. I'm sure there's a bunch of people selling this. But Robo Rally is a really fun game and well worth your time. I think even kids can really get the hang of it too. The theme is really cute. Getting the spam cards is really nice. It's almost like a deck building in a way, except you're getting negative cards in your deck that you don't want. You have to use them to get rid of them. I love that because after a while, One of my nephews tried to save up all his spam and not use it, and then he got to where he had almost all spam cards. And so his robot went nuts that one turn. It was really funny when we kept all laughing about what his robot was going to do next. So you laugh a lot in the game, you scream a lot in the game, and you get aggravated, but that is just all part of the fun. So definitely worth your time, especially at this price. I, for one, can recommend it. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, game on.